चलने में डगमगाहट, चलाना एकदम सीधा, सिर्फ बातों के शेर नहीं, हमने शेर के मुंह से है शिकार छीना। पिछली बार हम आपको प्रेमनाथ बजाज साहब के बारे में थोड़ा कुछ बता पाए। आज हम उनकी किताब डॉटर्स ऑफ वितास्ता में से एक इम्पैक्टफुल पर्सनालिटी के बारे में बताएंगे। It's about a woman who left an indelible mark in Kashmir's history. The ruler, the Queen Didda.
That's right, Amir. But वहाँ जाने से पहले ना हमें थोड़ा पीछे जाना पड़ेगा। थोड़ा नहीं, एक्चुअली हमें बहुत ही पीछे जाना पड़ेगा। हमें 10-11 सदियों पीछे जाना पड़ेगा। So we're talking about 10th century, right? In Kashmir, and I can only imagine, how Kashmir would look like that time. एक बार सोच के देखो आप, right? Because I can only picture beautiful lakes, snow-capped mountains, बहुत सारे chinar trees, right? And obviously no chaotic honking, क्योंकि वो तो गाड़ियाँ तो थी नहीं उस टाइम पे. Just pure pristine beauty. और इसी world में, which is so beautiful, steps Queen Didda, a queen who later became a legend.
Absolutely. So Didda, often called Didda the Terrible, but that name only tells half the story. So she was born with a mobility impairment. Her legs didn't move like others, but her spirit absolutely unstoppable. Her beauty enchanting. And a mind sharp as a blade.
Absolutely, Amir. I think I just wanted to add a point. You already touched upon it, but I think I should give it a little bit more importance, because I have heard and read countless, scriptures wherein she has been called out for, for her beauty, even though she was physically impaired. I think one of the reasons why Shem Gupta, he was attracted to her. But anyways, I think we already talked about a little bit Shem Gupta. He was the so-called king of Kashmir of that time. But let's not imagine a fairy tale romance. ये कोई हीर रांझा वाली कहानी नहीं थी उनकी. Because Shem Gupta was he was a mess. Gambling, liquor, and distractions. I think he was all into it. उन्होंने पहना तो था ताज. He was a king, but I think सबको पता था कि who was running the government.
Yeah, and when Shemugupta passed away somewhere in 956, Didda faced a heart-wrenching moment. There was a tradition that demanded her to join him in the funeral pyre. This was the time of Sati. But a wise minister, Narvahana, stepped in and convinced her, requested her that Kashmir को आपकी ज़रूरत है. And fortunately for all of us, she chose life over death.
Wow, Amir, I can only imagine, how difficult it would be to go against, the society of that time. Right? And I think that was the turning point also, because her young son, he becomes the king in name, but obviously the power was, it was all Didda, right? And she doesn't waste a moment, right? She's sharp, decisive, and ready to protect her kingdom at all costs.
Absolutely. And Didda wasn't just about talk. It wasn't सिर्फ कथा बकवास किए. When rebels rose, she outsmarted them every single time. Take Falguna. He was then prime minister, a brilliant statesman. But Didda suspected his loyalty. So he forced him. So she forced him out. So Falguna rallied his forces and was absolutely ready for a showdown. So imagine this is absolutely a tense moment. There are forces that are surrounding them, and everybody is tensed. But Didda didn't allow anyone to wield the swords. But what she wielded was her words. Wow. Her diplomacy disarmed the then prime minister. Yeah?
Wow, I think that's what makes her so fascinating, Amir. She was a master strategist, right? But I think she wasn't confined to the place either, right? Imagine her limping, fierce. Um, her presence was, I think, always electrifying, right? Tamsun khoon was garam, as Kashmiris would say, khoon jo usme variya garam. And her courage made her soldiers' hearts race with pride.
Absolutely, and let's not forget her complexity. To her enemies, she could be ruthless, even cruel for that matter. But to those loyal to her, she was a river of kindness. That's why even today, the name Didda or Dead in Kashmir is a term of endearment and not a motherly figure, or a woman deeply respected across communities. I never knew that Dead came from our ruler,
Wow.
Didda.
Wow, and I think we very commonly use that.
Yeah,
these days, right? Or grandmothers, we affectionately
Yeah,
call them dead, right? And I think it's a testament to her legacy, Amir. She ruled in a brutal era, balancing strength and compassion. Very difficult. और जाहिर सी बात है कि she built alliances, she constructed temples, and even I think she minted coins also in her name, which is a rare feat for a woman of her time, right? And some say, I don't know, some say that she mastered tantric rituals, blending spirituality with statecraft to solidify her rule.
Oh, that's absolutely intriguing, huh? Some tantric rituals.
Yeah.
Huh? But that's a whole new layer to our story, and we may want to dwell upon it probably in some episode. But what we definitely owe it to Mr. Premnath Bazaz for bringing a life in the book Daughters of Vitasta. Bazaz Saab saw the strength in the Kashmiri people, whether Pandits, Muslims, or any other religion for that matter, men, women, and dreamt of a united, thriving valley. But sadly, his vision faded, and his name just slipped away into fadeless.
Yeah, I think it's heartbreaking, Amir. Right? And I recently came across a video where Bazaz Saab's daughter, she asked, "Why has my father been forgotten?" Right? And I think it really makes you think about how we let such voices fade. But today, हम यहाँ जुड़े हुए हैं to honor both Didda and Bazaz Saab.
Absolutely, Adil. And we recorded this episode on Women's Day, though I'm sure it will go later. But here's to Didda, a queen who ruled with grit, grace, and a touch of mysticism. And to all the women out there shaping their own destinies, happy Women's Day to all of you. Every year, every month, and every single day.
Very, very well said, Amir. I would also like to, congratulate all the strong women throughout the globe. Happy Women's Day to everybody. So Amir just wanted to, know from you, like, what do you think? What's the biggest takeaway from Didda's story? Now that we have spoken about her, we have kind of gone through what she has achieved, and at a time when it was difficult for a woman to step up and make a mark.
Absolutely. So for me, it's about turning adversity into strength. Didda didn't let her physical challenges or society's expectations define her. She wrote her own story. Of course, a story which was with intelligence and courage. That's a lesson for all of us. No matter the obstacle, you can definitely carve your own path.
Wow, I think pura nichod ke whatever we've spoken about and whatever I know, I think you beautifully summed it up. And I'll just add a small thing over here. Now that we have started it, let's keep telling these stories, right? I think Bazaz Saab's work, it reminds us to preserve our history, right? We spoke about it last time. We can celebrate leaders like Didda who showed us what's possible, right? ये कहानियाँ हमें शायद याद दिलाती हैं कि हम आए कहाँ से,
Absolutely, absolutely, and I couldn't agree more. And so, folks, that's the tale of Rani Didda, a woman who defied the odds, and Premnath Bazaz Sahab, who ensured we would hear her story. And this really tells us some other things as well. कि हम बोलते हैं ना, women empowerment, पहले तो औरतें ये नहीं करती थी, वो घर से बाहर नहीं निकलती. This is a story. This is about 10th century, wherein women was the ruler.
Wow.
Okay, so I think all the male egos should be
put
just
aside.
shunned and put aside. There's a ruler, great ruler, at that point in time.
Yeah.
But thanks for joining in, and thanks for keeping the spirit of Vitasta alive. And take care, everyone. And
Absolutely, and we will see them again. Beyond?
absolutely, beyond Jhelum. Thank you.